English professors have lots of tools at our disposal for ruining your favorite books, and the way I prefer to ruin Pride and Prejudice is by pointing out how literature trains women to spend their time chasing assholes. Oh, sorry. Changing assholes into sensitive men instead of overthrowing the patriarchy.
Happy anniversary to us!
Woohoo! We just had our 7th anniversary. December 6th, 2016 was our first episode.
Amazing. 7 years of bookish fun. So, really, it's gone quickly. We both listened to episode 1 today
Yes.
just for fun, to see where we were recording using Chris's phone. We didn't know anything about what we were doing.
I didn't know how to edit really, but you could tell I didn't know how to have the sound come in and out, fade in and out, so it's really choppy. But I have to say, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The first 17 minutes is us kind of talking about the podcast and what it's going to be, and there's a lot of giggle. So if you can make it past the first 17 minutes, then it's our true first episode with our opening and everything. So, we went down nostalgia road a little bit today.
It was really fun. And we realized that some of you who are here on our BookTube channel might not even know that we have a podcast.
Right, yeah.
We actually started with a podcast first.
Yes.
And then do some booktubing as well. So
yeah, I think we thought initially that YouTube would be kind of extra stuff that maybe we who knows what our thought process was back then, but we love doing YouTube videos. It's so much fun, and we love the YouTube community. So we kind of consider ourselves hybrids, I guess.
Can we blow these again just because it's fun? Wow, these are a lot of fun, and I actually particularly like the ones that don't make noise.
Yeah,
so,
I know. They can get really old when they make noise.
So we wanted to cheers also.
Oh, yes.
We're going to do book cheers.
Cheers.
We talked to Pip Williams last night because she's in Australia.
Yeah.
She had just woken up. We were ready for bed.
I know. We usually record author interviews during the day. But, gosh, being able to talk with Pip Williams was such a treat, and we're so happy that we were able to work it out time-wise with all of us.
Yeah. So the Bookbinder was our 4th quarter read-along. We had our Zoom discussion with listeners on Sunday. Our conversation with Pip was so interesting. We cannot wait for you to get to hear it. We talked about this one and the Dictionary of Lost Things. Lost Things. The Dictionary of Lost Things. That would be my head.
That would have been my morning. Yes.
Oh my God. And she refers to them as companion reads, which is a really lovely way of thinking about them, because they're certainly not, it's not like a sequel or prequel or anything like that.
Yeah.
Both of them are fantastic. The episode with her author spotlight will drop on Tuesday, December 19th. Last episode of 2023.
Yeah, episode 197.
Yeah. And that's the last book in our year of reading books about books.
Yeah, wow. Amazing.
We'll be announcing our next theme on that episode as well.
We shall be, yes.
Stand by.
Yes. So we also wanted to announce our Patreon giveaway book for this month.
Right. Thank you to Milkweed Editions, who puts out the most beautiful books. House of Caravans. This is a debut novel by Shilpi Suneha, and it's told in 2 different time periods about the partition in India. And one really cool thing that Milkweed did was they sent out this really cool discussion questionnaire, and it even has a page where you can write your thoughts as you're reading the book. So this is going to be sent to the person. I cannot get the pages. There we go. This is going to be sent to the person who wins, and to be automatically entered to win. Join our Patreon community by December 15th.
Yeah, we do a monthly drawing, and this is for December.
Yeah, beautiful book.
And now on to, you wanted to share a cookbook.
Oh, right. On episode 196, I talked about this book, which is super heavy. So I didn't bring it to the office the day that we recorded in Book Cougars headquarters, but I did want to do a little show and tell. I love the cover so much. Just a smiley face made out of vegetables, and Hetty McKinnon, who's the author, took this picture, and she's credited in the back. And it's a beautiful cookbook about vegetables. I wanted to show a couple pictures of mushrooms because we've had this ongoing conversation about mushrooms.
Yes, our mushroom theme.
Yes, but beautiful pictures of mushrooms in here. And you know, I'm afraid of mushrooms that are harvested outside. I'm not afraid of mushrooms at the grocery store. And we're lucky in the day that we're in age we're living in now. There's lots of beautiful mushrooms about, and I have been cooking from this book. Beautiful. Highly recommend. I get them out from the library so that you can, you know, read them and take them back.
Yes. Yeah, well, they're big.
They're big,
Yeah.
heavy, expensive.
Yes.
You know, I live in a tiny house. I don't have much space. So, you know, occasionally I get one out and I find I'm cooking from it so much that I do want to own it. But you can also check them out again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tender Heart by Hetty McKinnon. Highly recommend.
Love that.
I'm getting hungry.
I know, me too. So let's move on with our Friday reads.
Yes. What have you got?
I am reading the Darcy Myth, Jane Austen, Literary Heartthrobs, and the Monsters They Taught Us to Love by Rachel Feder. I saw this. I don't know if I saw it on Goodreads, but yesterday I went to the library. I went to 2 libraries in the area and did some browsing of the new bookshelves, new book displays, I should say. And this one totally popped out at me. I love Jane Austen, the 19th century. And so I picked it up and I decided to bring it home, and I started it this morning. And so Rachel is a professor of literature in Colorado. And in her introduction, she talks about rescuing a cat, you know, that her 13-year-old neighbor told her this cat was stuck in bushes. And so she's writing about that, like, what am I doing here? And then realizing, like, you know, she was kind of set up from childhood to rescue things. And then it turns into women wanting to rescue and change men like Darcy, who are taciturn and, you know, distant. And, you know, I don't know if Darcy's abusive necessarily, but certainly other ones are, like Heathcliff. 19th century romantic heroes, right? So looking at the contents, I really enjoyed the contents. Like one chapter is Love is a Haunted House, or What Pride and Prejudice Would Look Like as a Horror Novel. And I was like, okay, I got to check that out, right? And I just wanted to read you all 2 short paragraphs just to give you a flavor of this. So this is the introduction after she's talked about, you know, being stuck in this bush trying to rescue a cat. I'm an English professor at a small university in Colorado and an expert on British literature. While I've never been a dedicated Jane Austen fan or Janeite per se, I'm more of a Frankenstein and Dracula kind of girl. I teach a course on Jane Austen almost every year, and every year I ruin Pride and Prejudice. When I say ruin, I don't mean the way you might say ruin a silk blouse by chasing a cat into a juniper bush. I mean the way you might ruin the song Total Eclipse of the Heart by telling someone that Bonnie Tyler originally meant it to be about vampires. This is true. I had no idea.
No idea.
I've now upended whatever uncomplicated associations you had with this song, and you'll never be able to hear it without thinking of vampires again. But I've made it much more interesting. Anyway, English professors have lots of tools at our disposal for ruining your favorite books, and the way I prefer to ruin Pride and Prejudice is by pointing out how literature trains women to spend their time changing assholes into sensitive men instead of overthrowing the patriarchy.
And chasing assholes too, I'm sure.
Assholes, right? So,
none of us have ever done that.
And it's, you know, it's not a very thick book. I had started reading Northwoods by Daniel Mason, is it? And I downloaded the 20% Kindle free preview that you could do, and it it's interesting, but I just wanted something, you know, more grounded, I guess you could say, than this. It's not exactly experimental literature, Northwoods, but it's very much like stream of consciousness in a way of all these different characters over time periods and stuff. And I'm just not in the mood for that right now.
Yeah.
I also think it might be one of those books I need to read as a paper book,
Oh,
you know, and
interesting.
have it and
Yeah.
hold it and see the pages. Anywho, this is totally clicking with me, so I can't wait to get down with it this weekend.
Get down with it. You go, girl. I can see. I know. I wanted to sing that other song, but I don't know the words well enough. The ones, the Total Eclipse of the Heart. But
Yeah.
it brings me right back to about, like, I don't know, 8th grade or something. I'm trying to think of when that came out.
I was either in high school already or just out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Well, that would make sense since I'm slightly younger.
Yeah, she's the younger cougar.
Actually, that was a funny part of episode 1. We said, you know, 2 middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 47.
And I'm 50.
And now it's like,
yeah, if you can do the math. Yeah.
we're a little older now.
I'm pushing 60.
Yeah, it's a little different,
Yeah.
but 7 years will do that.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. I'm trying to decide which book I want to talk about. I think I'm going to talk about this one. The Lost Journals of Sacagawea by Deborah Magpie Erling. This is a retelling, it's a novel, but a retelling of the story of Sacagawea, who we really don't know that much about. She helped to guide Lewis and Clark on their expedition. She was a teenager. She didn't do it by choice. Deborah Magpie Erling is an Indigenous writer, and she was asked to participate in an art exhibit about the Lewis and Clark bicentennial celebration, and chose to focus on Sacagawea, and then wanted to really delve deeper into her life. I started reading it. It's a little bit tricky. She has a foreword at the beginning where she talks about kind of like dialect and how she's going to address certain ways that she speaks about the things that Sacagawea saw and the traumas that she faced really as a young woman. So this one also Milkweed Editions, beautiful books, super excited to dig into this one. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to tell you. There was something else when you were talking that I was thinking about, but now I can't remember.
Now it went away.
Because we're middle-aged.
It'll come back. That was another little bit of conversation that we had in that first episode of not being able to, you know, remember a lot of things as a middle-aged person. And I actually feel like that's gotten better for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like something clicked in the last couple of years, and I don't feel like I have that issue as much anymore. So I don't know if it's a hormonal thing for women in their early 50s or wherever you are in your menopausal journey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
How about you? What do you think?
I think a lot of it for me has to do with sleep. And I think one of the things that happens in middle age is you start to have insomnia and trouble sleeping. And so I find sometimes when I'm having trouble finding my words, it's because I'm tired. And it's more that than, you know, than other things. So yeah, I don't know. But we did talk about that a lot. I've always had trouble with names. That is not an age thing for me.
Yeah, the name thing is challenging. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something I'll think about. I'm not sure. Well, we always want to know what you're reading.
Always, yeah.
Please let us know. We'll put some links down below for these books, for our Patreon page, and also for episode 1 for anyone who wants to listen to that.
Yes.
Laugh along with us.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we love doing together is laughing, for
Absolutely.
sure. Can we blow our horns one more time?
Yes. Happy reading.
Or 3 more times.